Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream Park on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's a huge day of racing. Samantha Perry joined with you and Brian Nato as well, as he is back and came back firing 24-1 shot yesterday,
Yeah,
Brian.
thank you. How about that? It was a good number there, so it was good to be back. And as Samantha said, a lot of excitement today with the Desert Vixen and the Dr. Fager. These Florida breds will start to stretch them out a little bit. We'll get to 6 furlongs today. And as she said, and I completely agree with it, it's a beautiful day here in Hollandale Beach.
It is, and yesterday we had some excitement in the finale. There were 3 singles alive in the Rainbow Six. That would have been the 3rd day in a row that they would have hit it. It did not happen. What that means today, $50,000 in that gross jackpot guarantee. That begins in race 5, and that is our first of 2 stake races today.
Yeah, and obviously Pete's upstairs and he'll go through them as well. There was a big scratch there. It was kind of late. It was not in the early wave of scratches, but unfortunately our Harper Rose is out. She was going to be a huge favorite. I know you liked her a lot. I certainly had her on top as well. So the 3, our Harper Rose is out of race 5. The Desert Vixen kind of really opens the race up. Unfortunate, but I think you said Safi said spiked a little temperature.
Yep, yeah, so hopefully she'll
Nothing
be
major.
back in ready to roll. And he's got a few live bolts here and in Kentucky down, so we wish him the best of luck.
Yeah.
We get to see old Transient.
Transient's up there, yeah.
Yes.
Transient, who won her comeback here on the Tapeta, going up there to Kentucky Downs. So Safi's been doing good. Won a big race there the other day.
Yeah, it's exciting seeing these Gulfstream horses that funneled through right behind us go off elsewhere and do quite well. But in the opener, early pick 5, and it kicks it off with a good one. Excited to kind of see where you went with your ticket.
Yeah, I've got a $16 ticket in the early 5. We'll get to this race. Back-to-back singles. General Ledger, speaking of Safi Joseph Jr., looks like he might have a live one there. First-time starter in race number 3. Another trotting gear. Sort of might have to win that one there. The spread is in race 4 to the 3 Burning Man. And then in race number 5, again, with the scratch of our Harper Rose, I scratch into Welcome Back, and I also elevated Opponent's Hope. I think everybody... excited is not the right word, but when she came out, I don't think any of the other trainers were complaining much.
Yeah, definitely not. And I kind of thought that was a more wide open race in the boys division, but we'll dig into that in a second. But in this opener, it's 2-year-olds. It's allowance optional claimers. They're fillies, 5 furlongs on the Tapeta track, and no scratches or changes in this spot. And we're getting to see, well, everybody but one has won a race.
Yeah, exactly. And, Cherokee for Arundel, broke the maiden for 35. I get it. She's, not one of their better horses. She's back in today for a tag. I think she's loose in here. She's supposed to be in front. The question is, how much pressure does Buchera put on her, maybe to the outside? Other than that, Samantha, I don't really see anyone running with her early.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting race. It's hard to wire, though, sometimes, but she could just be too quick out of the blocks. Let's look at the replay of Special Affair. That is a horse that both you and I have some interest in. I've got him a little more forwardly placed here, but I'll let you go ahead and talk about her.
Well, it's tough to do what she did. She's going to break dead last, and it's tough. This is her debut as well. She breaks dead last in a field of 10, and watch her come very professionally up through here. I thought this was a very impressive effort. I know it was for a quarter. She's stepping up. She's facing winners today. Now she goes up the inside. Now she tips back out. For a first-time starter that kind of had the old "there off you lose" start to it, I thought she ran very well, Samantha, and she's probably at a little bit of a disadvantage to the pace today because I'm trying to get Cherokee loose in here. But Special Affair for Armando De La Sorda ran very, very well in that race.
She did, and you really don't see 2-year-olds win like that, especially on the Tapeta and especially at such an abbreviated distance. So you have to give her some credit with that and hope that she can improve. The one having in mind for Antonio Sano, this horse already tried winners, and Welcome Back we'll see in the stake race.
Yeah, so that bodes well for her.
Right.
And she's on the improve with her form. As you said, she's already got the run against winners. It was, quote unquote, the fastest race of anyone in here.
Yeah.
So she's 6-5 right now, and it's no surprise. I think by post time she should be she should be at 4 to 5 now. That's very light and it's very early, but she does look something to 5 in here.
She does. I don't particularly trust her at a very short price, but I do think that she could possibly work out a trip from the rail. We'll see how it fares off her. And Boucher, I think, is an interesting one, just due to the fact when she got on the Tapita, she really romped.
She did, and she drew well. I don't know how fast she is. They're all going to be chasing Cherokee. I know she pressed last time, but 47-3 is not going to cut it today.
Nope, it will not. Race number 2, it's a maiden special weight event, 5.5 furlongs on the fast main track, and I have an early pick 4 ticket, reworked a little bit due to, I had 2 anchors, so now we've raised it up, but in this spot here, General Ledger, this horse looks pretty quick. I'm in agreement with my partner here. Race 3, I have no opinion whatsoever. I do have Brian's single trotting gear in this spot here. Race number 4, the 2 on top, Watch the Music. And in race 5, that is the first of 2 Florida Sirebred stake races. And the 4, Welcome Back on top for me, but I don't really trust her as well. In the second race here, this is a very solid maiden special weight for 2-year-olds.
It looks it, right? And you'll have to turn around and get a look at them. It is a tab the tote board kind of race. I mean, General Ledger is favored on the line and should be a pretty good favorite in here if he can run for 7.
Yeah, and it looks like it on paper. You know, we're speculating, but these works are very, very quick. And if this horse can just leave the gate. Now, summer fronts, sometimes they tend to be a bit on the heavier side and take a little bit to get some fitness into them. But this is a horse that Safi's had working pretty consistently and on a pretty, I would say, vigorous training program.
I like it. Yeah. And we're only going 5.5 today. This is a homebred, 5th foal out of the dam. Not much, but was a half to Merseyside, who was okay, earned over 170. To me, Samantha, it's as much as maybe we think General Ledger can run a little bit. Conversely, what we've seen in the afternoon from the rest of these, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, and we have some interesting newcomers. So you've got Jose D'Angelo's newcomer second, and not this time. He's been pretty productive sire.
Well, he sure has, and he stands for $135. Now they paid $40 for him. So we've talked about this in this kind of space in the past. It's it's a little worrisome. Something these not this times they sell, and this one went for 40. So we'll see. The dam was 1 for 9. It took her 7 starts. This is the second foal. The other one couldn't run, but it's Jose. It's Jaramillo. So you got to respect the connections here.
What about Quistmer? This is an interesting one. You found a stat on Terry Pompey.
Well, we've been talking about it a bit because Terry's been running some first-time starters down here, and you can see it right in your form. She's 0 for 16. Okay, it's not ideal. And maybe the program's changed a little bit. But what I wanted to do was extrapolate it out about 5 years because we know how good Terry is. You can see the stats. She's about 18% on the year. She can win with a first-time starter. Okay, this is dirt sprints, 12% the last 5 years. Quistmer, good works, big works.
Big works.
Good post. And who's here as well? Lionel. So, if you're spreading really deep, and if the money shows, check the double will pays as well, because Quistmer is a horse that could be interesting in here.
Yeah, most definitely. And Terry's not one that's going to really drill on a horse, so this horse just might have some natural ability here from the block. So we'll have to wait and see. But, yeah, definitely check those double will pays as it gets closer to the opener. Now, the third race, I'll let you go with this one because I don't have a strong opinion at all. It's 6 furlongs. It's non-winners of 2, claiming tag 62.50. So we're at the bottom here. Yeah. This is lifetime non-winners of 2. I mean, trotting gear looks like the horse to beat.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody to run to the window on trotting gear, and she's going to be a lot lower than 2 to 1 as well. Yeah. But maybe you can use, if you like her. Maybe you can get her on top. If you can use her to your benefit in the early 5 and the early pick 4, maybe she's an A. I mean, she's a single for me. This is not a good group. She was really good 2 starts back. She was in over her head last time for 12.5. She's back at the bottom. This is her spot for sure.
It is, and her numbers, they kind of lay over this field if she goes back to that start 2 races ago, but that was also on the slop.
It was.
So you wonder if that was her best race.
It might have been, but her other races are relatively close to that, the one before and even last time. You know what I like last time? She dueled early, and I don't
Yeah.
think she's going to have to work as hard. She cuts back to a mile's too far for her. This is the right spot for her, I think.
Yep. Race number 4. It's a claiming $10,000 level, a mile and 70 yards on the Topeka track. We take out the 7 Cupid's Dude. It's a field of 6 here. And Burning Man for you. I actually have a couple family friends that just finally got out of the mud.
I heard
from
that was
Burning
like
Man.
took forever to
Yeah.
get out of there or something like that, right?
Yeah.
What's the matter with him? I
nothing.
mean, this is a spread race to me. Look at his Topeka races. They were against better horses, and they fit right like a glove with this horse.
Right.
It's not like he went off form on turf anyway when he went up to Monmouth. So I like him here. I think he's a very logical contender in here, and if you're going to get close to 6-1, I mean, to me, he's the bet in here.
It is a solid one. And,
Yeah,
and pay attention to Brian's picks with these because he can kind of find these odder, I want to say these more odd horses that you just don't really, I mean, look at your pick yesterday.
Yeah. My pick yesterday, for some dumb reason, was 24-1. I mean, Nike Can was in there, so she bottomed out the board.
Right.
To me, that horse, I said it on the show, I thought the horse looked 6 or 7-1. I said was going to make the horse my long shot. And so you can't really pick a 24-1, but the betting public can help you make a 24-1.
Right. Yeah.
That horse was not 24-1.
In a field like this, they all kind of run the same race, quite literally every time, and then we'll just take turns beating each other, running that similar race. Watch the music I put on top, but it's not like I have complete conviction on this horse.
No,
either.
we got a stat, too. Check out this stat.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not a terrible stat by any stretch of the imagination, but, you know, Bobby D is in the 20s, mid-20s with basically everything he does. But second off the claim, I mean, it's a huge sample, too. Maybe this horse comes back just a little bit. Watch the music ran so well, and maybe this horse comes back just a little bit.
It could. On the Topeka, sometimes it can be a bit of a guessing game with the way these horses run, and it's not unusual to see a bomb like your 24-1. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the card. We're kicking off the Florida Sire Stakes races. We'll be right back.
And they're off.
My Racehorse has opened up a door for people that felt like that door would have never been opened for them.
We can all be owners and we can all get that excitement.
You can meet your horse through the different experiences and all of the events that My Racehorse puts together. You get that hands-on connection.
Whether you have $50 or $500, everyone that joins My Racehorse gets that experience of a lifetime.
I love My Racehorse. Let's go.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you, taking you through our 10-race card today, and it's an exciting one. Race 5 kicks off the first of 2 stake races today, and the Rainbow Six. My partner's got a ticket. Take it away.
You know, I had that thing going yesterday until our Apocalypso took a left-hand turn. And
quite literally.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
And, well done by Jesse again. Jesse was like he was on answering social media. He did a good job yesterday.
Yeah, he was Mr.
If you didn't see it, though, Jesse Costa, our outrider, head outrider, was an absolute amazing catch yesterday of Apocalypso. And he's fine, and Edgar's eyes, I saw him walking in, he's fine as well, so that all's well that ends well. Let's take a look at the ticket now, and I had to rework it because, again, the big scratch of R. Harper Rose really could blow up the race, and I'm sure blows up a lot of tickets. There's probably a lot of people scrambling a little bit here to fix these tickets. So I added in Epona's Hope. I had Welcome Back Always. I added in Epona's Hope. Go Lil Lady is my best bet of the day in race number 6. My long shot, Samantha, is in race number 7, so that is the 2. Free Christina, first-time starter for Ramon Minguet, and we'll see what we got going working there. I scratch into Ben Tornado. How about that? Because I had Sound of the Beast on top, so now it's just Ben Tornado in the Dr. Fager. He is and always was going to be tough. To Thyself Be True in the co-feature, we'll call it today, race number 9, and then in race number 10, the 6, Nothing But Pumps on the stiff drop for Antonio.
All right.
$32.
It's a solid one, and kicking off this Rainbow 6. The Desert Vixen, 6 furlongs. These are Florida Sire Stakes. We scratched the 2, Kitty's Pretty. We scratched the 3, Our Harper's Rose, and we scratched the 7. She has class. It really changes the whole field.
Sure does.
And the betting board as well.
Yep.
Let's watch the replay of Welcome Back, and I'll let you kind of talk about her.
Yeah, this is, by the way, a maiden first-time starter
Yeah.
here against a group of winners. And it's Jose D'Angelo, and you got $53 on her, which is like impossible. But she's not even in your picture yet, by the way. And here she comes. You know, here's the crazy thing about this race, too. It did not fall apart.
Right.
The horse that was in first and the horse that was in second, they finished second and third. This race did not melt down. Yes, they were going fast early, but you don't do this on the Tapeta, and you sure as heck don't do it as a maiden first-time starter taking on winners. And she was not in your picture early. And look, Edwin was pumped up here. I remember this, too. He was amped up
He
for
was.
this. Good for him. Look at him there. Yeah. And that's a big-time effort.
Yeah.
It was on Tapeta. We're on dirt today. I think she was interesting anyway, and now with the scratch,
Even more.
big player in here.
You know, admittedly, on the Tapeta, obviously none of us picked her. Look at the odds she went off at because she
No
was
one
facing
picked her.
winners for the first time. But regardless of that, just looking at her physically, I didn't think that this was a filly that would handle the Tapeta because she is a big gal. And you could kind of see it took her a while to get into her right lead there. She did things the hard way. She broke from the rail, was a bit slower to break. But I just don't think she is super quick.
Yeah.
And I think the dirt is just going to move her up.
Well, yeah, and the other thing, too, now, the scratch, not only does it take a huge favorite and the horse to beat out of the race, it completely muddles and changes the pace flow and the complexion of this race because we knew Our Harper Rose was A, going to go, and B, she was going to go really fast.
Yeah.
So now, I guess maybe Mist falls onto the lead. You've got probably cheaper speed down on the inside of Fields of Green. But I think what it's going to do, Florindia is not letting anyone get too far away early. It's going to tighten this group up a little bit, and that probably helps Welcome Back even more, too. It certainly helps your top pick.
Yeah, Epona's Hope, she's coming out of the Sharp Susan. Let Them Watch won that race. Just a runaway winner for trainer Mike Maker, who put together 2 wins in a row now. And Kiss and Epona's Hope, they were just picking up the pieces. But Epona's Hope, I felt like, was a horse that improved a lot from that 4.5 furlongs to the 6 furlongs.
Well, that's the big deal, too. She's got that under her belt now.
Right.
She's run 6 furlongs. Some of these have not. That's important. The post is a big deal. And you're right. Don't forget, too, and you know this, but the 4.5 furlong dirt races here, that's the short stretch finish line. So she really had to run last time, and that is a whole different kind of dynamic when you're running to the real finish line. So she's going to get a lot out of that.
She will, and another horse exiting that race, Florindia, as well. This horse, whenever she broke her maiden, she was at a big price, and she just romped.
I'll tell you what, we didn't know where the heck that maiden win came from.
Yeah.
And then she comes back and she stinks behind Welcome Back, but that was on the Tapeta.
It was.
So now we can forget it.
Yeah.
She didn't run badly at all last time. And you just look at her 2 dirt races. They're not bad. And again, all bets are off with Our Harper Rose out of here. No one in this group is out of this race at all.
Yep, that's a very solid edition of the Desert Vixen. Race 6, it kicks off the late pick 5, 6.5 furlongs on winners up to lifetime, claiming $25,000 level for fillies and mares 3 and up. I've got a late pick 5 ticket. We'll take a quick look at this. It's $54 for me. We'll get to this race in just a second. And race 7, the 5 on top, Mystic Sunrise for me. Race 8, the 10, that's Ben Tornado, and our second stake race of the day. And then our co-feature, the 9th race. It's a spread, but the 6 on top, Time Passage for me. And in the finale, the 10th race, my long shot, Sophia Loren, the 8. And $54. If you wanted to maybe cut it down a little bit in the 7th race, you could possibly get away with singling Beach Party Bingo, but that's just if you wanted to cut it down a bit. In the 6th race, 6.5 furlongs, Go Lil Lady. She's
Fast.
Yes.
She's fast and she's loose.
Yep.
And we'll just take a deep breath and hope she lasts 6.5. That's the bottom line. She's my best bet of the day. She's not going to have to work as hard as she did last time when she was dueling through 45-second half mile. That's absurd. She's not going to, and she does it today. She's just going to be nowhere to be found late. I just don't see anyone running with her early. The cutback, or excuse me, the extra half furlong to me is not going to bother her because she's not going to have to run as hard early. And we know speed on this main track sprinting is a mighty, mighty good thing to have.
It is. And Black Belt Barbie, she looks like the one that's going to run her down late.
Yeah, I mean, she's fine, but she's got that giant number last time that to me, it kind of, you wonder where it came from. Maybe it was the drop that woke her up. I don't know, but, you know, she's certainly going to be the horse to beat in the main danger.
Hey, I think it's a solid best bet. It's my top pick as well.
Oh, there you go.
Hope to take her wire to wire. Now, race 7, it's a maiden optional claiming event, 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta track. Fillies and mares 3 and up. Do you want to show the late pick 4?
No, we can just go with it. We
perfect.
can talk about the stakes in a second here, and I'll post it on Twitter.
All right, awesome. So we've got maidens here, a couple of them starting for the first time. Free Christina for you. You're going to have to talk me on this one.
Well, there's a few things going on here, okay? First of all, you're going to tell me Mystic Sunrise is the horse to beat. Well, then I'm going to start looking elsewhere right away. I mean, I think that's, I mean, she's tough. I'm going to use her, but she's very tough to trust. And Ronnie won a race yesterday. She just kind of looks like a horse that's not really interested in getting her picture taken. Ramon Miguet's had a great year. He's 25% with 12 first-time starters, so he's 3 for 12. Good enough for me. Jose Morelos is here. That's his guy. And this horse got a little bit of pedigree, too. A half to a horse that won on debut and earned over $650,000. So, you know, populist politics. So maybe this horse is live a little bit here, and, you know, there's not much going on here.
No, and that Tapeta work, and I get it, it was in May. That was a really solid drill, so we know if anything she takes to that okay. Still, she'll be tough. Now, okay, Mystic Sunrise, she's only sprinted one time in her career, and it was her first start ever. And maybe it's just she's been running the wrong distance here. I don't. She could just get run off her feet. We talk about that a lot with these cutbacks.
Yeah, this is going to be sharp for her. In Ronnie Spats we trust, and he won one yesterday. But, you know, she just seems to me going to be an underlay, the type of horse you might want to try to beat. I mean, all right, you picked her on top. You're not running to the windows to play her at 2-1.
No, but I'm not. Beach Party Bingo looks really tough to me. The dam was so quick on the dirt. She ran 4s on the thoroughgrass sprinting. So, and you know Sappy's going to have one ready. And then after that, you're not going with your old friend at Atlanta Alexandra. You picked this horse 3 times and not today.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was off her last time. I liked her a lot, too, back. I'll say this. She ran pretty well last time behind a good horse and with a fast figure. So she's in the mix here.
I think that, in hindsight, is going to be a pretty strong race, that all-class race.
Yes, I think so, too.
Yep. Race 8, it's the Dr. Fager 6 furlongs. It's the boys division of the Florida Sire Stakes. We scratched the 4, Sound of the Beast. That was Brian's top pick. Now we both are on Ben Tornato. Let's take a look at the replay, and I'll let you talk about him.
Oh, he was so good. He just bottomed out the field, is what you're going to see here, and he's on the lead here. And Gentle Breeze is going to run second. And I'm not going to say he didn't run well in here, but what Gentle Breeze did was pick up all the waste that Ben Tornado created in here, because he's going to absolutely fry these horses that were chasing him, and he's not going to stop. And he's going to keep going. This was awesome. And he ran an 88 buyer, if that's your jam. And I said yesterday I hadn't seen him yet. He ran an 8.
He did.
And when you're running an 88 and when you're running an 8 and it's August 12th, watch him, by the way. Gentle Breeze is not going to make up any ground here. He just keeps going.
Right, yeah.
When you're running an 88, you're running an 8 on the thoroughgraphs on August 12th. That's a big boy number.
It is. And what I like about his progression is the first time he missed the break and he came from off the pace. Then he broke on top and was able to just control it from there. He went from an 11 to an 8 on the thoroughgraph. So this is a good progression. And you don't want to see a 11 and then a 4, because sometimes that can kind of come back to him a bit. So this horse is going to be very tough. And then everybody underneath, you know, what do you make of the 2 Juan Alvarado horses here?
Well, I probably made a lot more of them a month ago, but these 2-year-old Saratoga races were terrible.
Yeah.
We talked about the Hopeful.
We did, yeah.
The winning buyer of the Hopeful was a 72. I
Yeah.
mean, that's embarrassing. The middle race with Rhyme Schemes, that was a good race, but
It
he didn't
was,
come
yeah.
back. So I feel like Lasso and Dickens, Dickens ran well. I remember we watched it together.
We did,
Look at
yeah.
Dickens fighting in there.
You did, yeah.
So I'm not going to take anything away from their open company graded stakes races at Saratoga. Okay, now he's facing Florida breds. They both are. I feel they're just a little dressed up now off those races.
Yeah, the Gold Sweep, that's like a disappointment
Yes.
of the year here. And this horse is a bit of a bad actor in the gate at Saratoga. Actually, in the Sanford, he held things up a bit that day.
For sure.
Yeah, so watch him with that. They did breeze him from the gate. That's a pretty quick breeze at
Yeah.
47.
Dickens ran well in that race.
He did, yeah.
He did.
So I think he's going to show a little more speed maybe than he did at Saratoga. And I feel like Saratoga was such a heavy track, too.
Well,
so
the other problem with Dickens, too, is that, okay, he shows more speed, which
Yeah.
I agree with you. Well, who's to his outside is Ben Tornado, and that's not going to work out well. I
No,
don't think.
but the good thing about Ben Tornado is I don't think he'll have to. He doesn't need the lead for one.
No.
And I don't think Amisa El Jaramillo will fry him early.
No, and I think you made a really good point, too, about talking about Ben Tornado's debut. He showed he doesn't have to be
Right.
on the lead. He's just a better horse last time. And, oh, by the way, the Proud Man, that's an open stakes race, too. that he won.
Exactly.
So-
Yeah. This I actually could be a legitimate horse, and excited
Yeah.
to see where he goes from there. Now the 9th race, the Coco feature.
Coco feature.
Coco feature. Yeah. A mile and 70 yards. It's a handicap on the Tapeta. It's fillies and mares 3 and up. Scratch the 7 Rastani. It's a 6-horse field now. The to thyself be true.
Yeah.
This is a solid horse, I think.
I think it is, and
Yeah.
I think we've got them mixed up, but I think the winner's in there somewhere,
I
whether
hope,
it's
yeah.
me or you or one of the other
One
ones.
of us.
She's a 2-turn Tapeta horse.
Yeah.
That's clear now. We didn't know where that race came from when she was 3rd as a maiden in the stakes behind
Yeah.
Transient. Again, going to run a little bit at Kentucky
Downs,
Downs.
yeah.
And then she backed it up 2 starts back. I remember you and I were like, "Why? They're going to just bet this horse at 90 cents on the dollar?" And
Yeah.
she delivered.
She did.
And I don't know what she was doing running 6.5 on the dirt last time, but she's
Yeah.
back here now. She's okay, and she could be a little decent price too. So I took a shot with her.
They tried the blinkers on her last time
Mm-hmm.
too. Just
No.
yeah, they're back off today. So the 6th time passage, I was dying to see this horse stretch back out again. We've got the replay. We'll
Yeah.
flash it up. I don't typically pick horses back to back on the Tapeta, and I know that this didn't come back at the quickest race, and nobody pressed this horse too much on the front end. But this was a really good effort, Brian.
Oh yeah, because these horses that are close to her here, they did not stick around
No.
at the end. So this, yeah, I know she's kind of freewheeling on the lead. I think she's going to have to work a little harder
Right.
today. But the race within the race was pretty impressive here because she's going to drag these horses out, and you're going to see where they are early. That's not where they were late, and she kept on keeping on.
Right.
I was surprised she's such a heavy favorite on the morning line. Maybe she will be 9-5. I'll say this: the scratch helps her. Raztani
Yes.
was not going to win this race, and she wasn't going to factor in this race.
No.
But she was probably going to keep a horse like Time Passage honest.
Just kind of in the- yeah.
She's out now, so.
And that's going to be a key move for her, and she can just kind of see where everybody else is, spot the field there. Edgar Zayas, he's done a really good job with her. That race too, back the Accomplished Girl race, that was Safi's horse. What a productive race, because Lily Bear comes
sure.
back to win as well. I think this horse is just going to get better now. She could come back off the Tapeta, come back to her a little bit, but hoping for a forward movement, and we'll see. It's a sharp race.
It's a good race for sure, and I mean, you're down inside with Ocean Safari. She fits in here
She does,
as
yeah.
well.
And it's Jose D'Angelo.
Jose, and speaking of, we joked the Coco feature, and Coco's not in here, and I think that helps Double Cosmo Girl too, because I don't
Yes.
think anybody wants to run against Coco right now.
No, Coco is just outstanding, and that was a solid effort Double
Yeah.
Cosmo Girl ran. You look at the running line and you say it was 7 lengths. That's horrible, but that was no slouch race.
No, and she was clear 3rd as well. So.
Yep, it helps. It's a solid race to get in the late daily double, but in the finale, this could be the blow-up race. It typically always is with these bigger fields on the Tapeta. It's made in $12,500 level. Fillies and mares 3 and up, a mile and 70 yards on the Tapeta here. It's a 12-horse field. You could go any different direction here. Talk about nothing but pumps.
Well, I mean, this has literally got to be the biggest drop in all of racing. This is our bottom level for maiden claimers at 12.5, and she's coming out of maiden special weight races. So you cannot make up a bigger class drop. She's about the fastest anyway on figures. I'm not. She hasn't tried to PETA. That's the only thing. But otherwise, I don't know. I thought she kind of might have to win. She looks about 7-5. To me.
She does, and there's really anybody in this race that you could probably make a case for. I thought Sophia Loren. I know you picked her last time. I think it's your long shot. That didn't work out, but they're taking the blinkers off of her, and this is her first time two turns on the Tapeta track.
I don't know what to make of her. I've tried her. She's disappointed me, and she was dreadful last time. The 2 Tapeta races, they were okay. I will say that. And now she stretches out. Certainly looks in her pedigree. Congrats out of a Harlan's Holiday, man.
Yeah, and the 9 Fortunata. Liz Dobles, she's bringing some horses back from Monmouth now, and this one actually stayed here over the summer, but she fits figures-wise as well.
Yeah, she looks a little slow to me, but she's got some speed. I think that'll help. It's never a bad thing to be at least in front of a group that's not going to be running too quick.
Yeah, if you're alive to this point, it'll be probably, I could imagine we'll see some singles in the finale.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me at all, especially if one of the stakes gets blown up a little bit.
It's a very solid card. If you're out, come say hi. We'll be with you throughout the whole day, but don't go away. We've got an abbreviated lightning round, but a good one nonetheless. And finally, Brian, we get to show a taste of the track slate. Every time we put this in the lightning round, the tickets are sold out.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. Get them soon, okay? Saturday, September 23rd, because what was it, two weeks
It was
ago?
Tacos and Tequila.
Tacos and Tequila.
They always sell out. The tickets
completely sold out. Now, this is 2 weeks from today, so get on it because, as my partner says, it sells out very, very quickly, and they put on a heck of a show. And you can bring a bourbon down here to the set, and I'll drink it.
And you can bring some barbecue for me.
That too.
Yeah, as long as I'm not wearing a light color.
Okay.
Because ribs could get a little
dicey.
A little messy. Your best bet today?
My best bet. Go Little Lady. There we go.
Go Little
Race
Lady.
number 6.
I've got kind of low-hanging fruit, but Bin Tornado. Oh, sorry. Wow. Wow. For some reason, I thought I put that was just a single. General Ledger, the first-time starter for Saffie Joseph. This horse, I think, is going to be...
You've done good with those, too.
Thank you. Long shot?
Long shot is the very next race. The first-time starter, the 2-horse Free Christina at 15.
And mine's in the finale, Sophia Loren.
Oh. Sophia Loren.
Loren?
Yeah, you're not familiar with the other one.
Well, I am now familiar. Thank you guys so much. We'll be with you throughout the whole day. Good luck in the Florida Sire Stakes races, and enjoy your day here at Gulfstream Park. We're going to send it on up to Pete Aiello. He'll guide you through the scratches and the track conditions. Good luck.